So I want you to imagine waiting in this massive line to see a masterpiece, a painting that like almost 4 million people have viewed.
Right, a really crowded museum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you finally get to the front of the line, and it's just an empty picture frame.
Just nothing there.
Nothing. But the crazy part is the security guards are still checking tickets,
Right.
right? And the audio guide is still, enthusiastically telling you how to look at the painting. But the canvas itself is simply gone.
Yeah, that is a perfect way to describe it, actually.
Right. And that surreal scenario is exactly what we are unpacking in today's deep dive. We're looking at a very broken, frankly bizarre, digital document.
It really is bizarre.
It is. We have a snapshot of a single web page. Specifically, it's a YouTube playlist titled Official Music Videos for the Rock Band Guns N' Roses.
And, what makes this specific snapshot so fascinating isn't the band itself.
Oh, definitely not.
Right. It's the fact that the page is a complete digital ghost town. We are going to explore what happens when the underlying architecture of our digital world completely breaks down.
Just totally falls apart.
Exactly. Leaving behind only these echoes of data and an interface that just flat out refuses to admit anything is wrong.
Because on its face, the sheer absurdity of this document is incredible. We're looking at a page whose entire stated purpose is to show us music videos, yet the page is actively fighting against showing us a single frame of video.
Right. It's actively hiding them.
Yeah. The very first thing you see when you look at the raw data of this snapshot are these incredibly impressive, highly specific statistics.
The metrics.
The metrics, yes. The page boldly declares that this playlist contains exactly 12 videos, and then it tells us that these videos have received exactly 3,946,354. The specificity is really what sells the illusion there.
It sounds so official. It does. It projects this aura of absolute, mathematical certainty. It implies that the system has counted every single interaction perfectly.
And it even says last updated on July 26, 2024.
Right.
So as a user, you look at this and it feels active, it feels maintained, But then you look just beneath those hyper-specific metrics and the source material just casually drops the system message.
Punchline.
The punchline, exactly. It says 12 unavailable videos are hidden. And if that wasn't clear enough, it follows up with a stark confirmation, no videos in this playlist yet.
It is a stunning contradiction to just have right there on the screen.
Wait, hold on, though. Let's really think about this. If every single video is hidden and the system is flat out telling us there are no videos here, how can we even call those 3.9 million views real?
That's the big question.
You're basically counting eyeballs on a ghost at that point. Going back to the empty stadium analogy, do those metrics actually mean anything if the content itself just doesn't exist?
See, that gets right to the heart of how modern digital architecture actually works.
Okay, tell me.
What you're pointing out is this fundamental decoupling of metadata from content.
Decoupling.
Right. To understand why a web page can boast about millions of views for videos that literally aren't there, we have to look at how data is stored.
Okay.
Because in the early days of the internet, if a file was deleted, everything associated with it was usually deleted too.
Like throwing away a book. If you throw away the book, you throw away the cover, the index, the author bio, all of it.
Exactly. The file was the center of gravity. That used to be true. But today, the architecture has completely flipped.
Flipped how?
Well, digital platforms now prioritize the metadata, the data about the data.
Hmm.
They prioritize that over the actual content itself.
Why would they do that? That sounds backwards.
They do it out of necessity, honestly, for speed and scale. You see, the music video itself, the really heavy file with all the audio and visuals that is stored on something called a content delivery network, or CDN.
CDN, right?
Yeah. And CDNs are essentially these massive global networks of servers. They're designed to hold heavy media files so that, say, a user in Tokyo downloads the video from a server in Tokyo.
Oh, and a user in London gets it from London.
Exactly. So the heavy lifting is pushed way out to the edges of the network.
Okay, so the CDN is like a bunch of local warehouses.
That's a perfect analogy. But the metadata, the view counts, the playlist titles, the update logs, that is incredibly lightweight text.
Just simple numbers and letters.
Right. And that lives in a centralized relational database.
Yeah.
Which is basically just a giant, highly efficient spreadsheet.
Okay, I'm following.
So When a video gets taken down from the internet, maybe it's a regional blocking issue or a copyright dispute, whatever the reason, that heavy video files are pulled from the CDN warehouse.
The warehouse is emptied out.
The warehouse is empty.
Yeah.
But that centralized spreadsheet, it still has the row of data recording every single time someone clicks on that link.
Oh, wow. So the spreadsheet keeps the receipts even after the store burns down.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. The numbers just remain there as a permanent footprint. I like to call it a digital fossil of public attention.
A digital fossil.
Yeah, because, think about a dinosaur fossil. It isn't actually made of bone anymore.
Wait, is it?
No. It's made of minerals that filled in the empty space where the bone used to be. The shape remains, right? But the original organic material is long gone.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So that view count of nearly 4 million, that's the mineral deposit, it filled the space where the user engagement used to be.
A digital fossil. So it means that nearly 4 million times a human being clicked on a rock video and, experienced something.
Exactly.
And the machine just dutifully recorded the fact that they experienced it, but then completely lost the experience itself.
Yeah, and this is something you as a user navigating the internet probably encounter all the time.
Oh, constantly.
It's digital decay or link rot.
Mm-hmm.
Get an old bookmark or a saved post, and the content is just gone, but the container is still there.
Staring at you.
Right. The platform remembers that something was there, but it can no longer show it to you.
Which, okay, that brings up that other piece of metadata on the page. The last updated on July 26, 2024 line.
Oh, yeah.
If the CDN warehouse is completely empty and the videos are hidden, what exactly was the system updating on July 26th?
Well, the update log is likely just an automated system running a routine maintenance check.
Not a real person.
No. In large-scale databases, they run background scripts. They're often called cron jobs that just sort of sweep through the servers to check for broken links or missing files.
Okay.
And when the script realizes the 12 videos are no longer available on the CDN, it changes the status of those videos to hidden in the database.
Oh, I see. So the update wasn't a person adding a new music video for us to watch. It was literally just a machine doing paperwork.
Exactly. The machine sweeps the database, marks the missing files as hidden, and then proudly stamps the date of its own sweep.
Like a janitor signing a timesheet.
Pretty much. It is basically telling you, I have successfully organized the void.
That is so bleak, but so funny. But, the fact that the videos are gone is really only half the mystery of this snapshot.
Right, there's the whole other side to it.
Yeah. The real question is, if the database knows the videos are gone and it has explicitly labeled them as unavailable and hidden, why does the user interface still act like everything is perfectly fine?
The UI.
Yeah, because when we look at the UI surrounding this empty playlist, it's still offering a bunch of commands. It says search with your voice. It offers a button to save playlist. It enthusiastically suggests you can shuffle play.
Which is wild.
And the most baffling one of all, tap to unmute, what, there's no audio?
It's offering you high-fidelity interactions with nothingness.
Yes. It's like a broken vending machine, right? Where you put your money in, press the button, nothing drops down, and the digital screen just happily scrolls, enjoy your refreshing beverage.
Exactly.
Why? Why is the front door of the website offering me a shuffle play button when the system has already admitted the playlist is empty?
So this happens because websites aren't built as one cohesive thing anymore. The front page of a platform like this isn't a single document.
It's not.
No, it is a collection of independent modules or components, and they communicate via APIs, application programming interfaces.
Okay, break down how that component architecture works in this context, because I think a lot of people just assume a web page is just one big page of code.
Right. So imagine you're building a car, okay? But instead of one central computer running everything, the steering wheel, the radio, and the speedometer all have their own tiny, completely independent brains.
Okay, that sounds like a dangerous car.
It does. And they don't talk to each other directly at all. They only talk to a central dispatch.
Okay.
Modern web design uses this component-based architecture. The page you see is actually dozens of micro-applications running simultaneously.
Dozens.
Yeah. So the module responsible for rendering this shuffle play button, it doesn't know anything about the video player module.
It's entirely compartmentalized.
Yes. The shuffle play component has a very simple, localized rule. It's just, if this page is categorized as a playlist, draw a shuffle button.
So it just follows orders.
Exactly. It sends an API request to the backend saying, hey, give you the playlist data. The backend sends the data package, which says, yes, this is a playlist page. so the component draws the button.
Wow.
It doesn't check if the playlist has active video files because checking video files just isn't its job.
So it's essentially zombie code.
Kind of, yeah.
Just stumbling forward, executing the last specific instruction it was given without any awareness of the bigger picture. Like, I was told to put a button here, so I'm putting a button here.
That's the trade-off of modern web design. I mean, we gained incredible speed and scalability by breaking websites into these isolated modules, but we lost cohesive logic.
We lost the big picture.
We really did. And this modular blindness explains the cascade of error messages that clutter the rest of the document.
Oh, the error messages are the best part.
Because while it's offering you a shuffle play button on one side, it's also throwing up these catastrophic failure notices everywhere else.
Right, like your browser can't play this video and an error occurred while retrieving sharing information. And the one that really gets me, the absolute peak of this snapshot. If playback doesn't begin shortly, try restarting your device.
Classic.
I look at that and just wonder, why? Why does the digital architecture try to blame the user? Why is it telling me to restart my phone or my computer when the system itself, on the exact same page, has openly admitted 12 unavailable videos are hidden?
Right. It feels super passive-aggressive.
It really does.
But this really comes down to how software handles the unexpected. When the video player component loads on the screen, its programming tells it to ask the backend database for a video file via an API call.
Okay.
And when that API call reaches the empty warehouse, the CDN we talked about, it returns what's called a null value.
Meaning I have absolutely nothing for you.
Right. Empty hands. And software engineers have to write rules for what a component should do when it gets a null value instead of a video.
Because otherwise it would just break, right?
Exactly. So they use something called a try-catch block.
Try-catch.
Yeah. The code tries to play the video. If it fails, it catches the error and then decides what message to display to the user.
Okay, that makes sense.
But here's the catch. No pun intended.
Yeah.
The video player component doesn't know why the API returned a null value. It doesn't know about copyright strikes or deleted files or cron jobs.
Because it's blind.
Yes. All it knows is that it asked for a video and the connection failed.
So it just guesses.
It falls back on a hierarchy of probabilities. Statistically, the most common reason a video player fails to receive data isn't that the video was permanently deleted from the Google database.
What is it then?
The most common reason is a localized network issue.
Oh. Like my Wi-Fi's bad.
Exactly. A weak Wi-Fi signal, a bad browser cache, or your device losing connection. So the localized component defaults to the most statistically likely error message. Try restarting your device.
It defaults to blaming my internet connection because its worldview is entirely restricted to its own specific function.
You nailed it.
That is wild. The playlist text component knows the videos are hidden. The video player component only knows it can't load a file. And neither of them can communicate this huge discrepancy to each other.
Exactly. It creates this bizarre, almost gaslighting effect. And it's not out of malice from the developers, but simply because the architecture is just so fragmented.
Which brings us to the ultimate glitch in this snapshot, the absolute breakdown.
Oh, down at the bottom.
Yes, down at the bottom of the video player where the timestamp should be. Instead of saying something logical like 0 minutes out of 0 minutes, it just says nan, nan.
Ah, yes. Nan. Not a number. That is a classic programming artifact.
Not a number. It's a machine caught in a logic loop. It's trying to do math on empty space and openly breaking down in front of us. I mean, how does a polished UI end up displaying raw code jargon like nan?
It has to do with how computers process arithmetic, specifically something called floating point math standards.
Okay, bear with me here.
We'll keep it simple. The media player component is programmed to constantly calculate the current playback time divided by the total duration of the video. This calculation is what drives that little progress bar at the bottom of the screen.
Right, right. So if you're 1 minute into a 4-minute video, it calculates 25% and moves the bar a quarter of the way across.
Exactly. But in this case, the total duration of the video doesn't exist. The API returned a null value.
Because there's no video.
Right. So when the computer tries to divide the current time by a null or undefined duration, it hits a mathematical wall. You can't divide by 0, and you can't divide by undefined space.
Oh, I see.
In older systems, trying an impossible calculation like that would cause a fatal exception. It would literally crash the entire browser tab, or even the whole computer.
Like the old blue screen of death, a total system freeze.
Exactly. To prevent that, modern programming languages use a safety valve. When they hit an impossible calculation, Instead of crashing, they return a specific data type called NaN, not a number. It's the computer's way of gracefully saying, hey, the result of this math equation is undefinable, but I'm going to keep the rest of the application running.
So instead of crashing my browser, it just prints NaN to the screen and keeps chugging along.
Yep.
And yet, right next to this glaring mathematical failure, there are perfectly functional buttons to shopping, share, and CompuLink.
That's the irony.
You can literally click a button to buy merchandise for a video that the system cannot mathematically comprehend.
Share the void. Buy a t-shirt for the void.
Wow.
The component architecture ensures that the shopping module keeps working flawlessly, even while the video player module is mathematically collapsing right next to it.
And that NaN error isn't just a quirky bug on a rock band's playlist.
Wow.
We interact with this exact same fragmented architecture every single day.
Every day.
If you think about it, this is how your online banking portal is built. This is how government tax websites are built, medical portals, all of it.
That is the crucial takeaway from this source material, I think. We are looking at a Guns N' Roses playlist, sure, but we're actually looking at the structural philosophy of the modern internet.
Yeah.
We are building these increasingly complex interfaces that are designed to project absolute confidence even when the underlying reality of the database is completely fractured.
It's like we're painting a beautiful, photorealistic mural over a crumbling brick wall.
That's a great image.
The front end looks sleek, the buttons have nice drop shadows, the metrics look perfectly precise, but underneath, the API calls are returning nulls, and the components are wildly out of sync with reality.
And the really dangerous part is that we are training users to trust the mural over their own intuition.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when a beautifully designed interface tells you to try restarting your device, your first instinct is usually to obey the machine.
Oh, totally. I blame my router immediately.
Right. You doubt your own hardware before you doubt the platform. We have been conditioned to accept the authority of the interface, even when all the contextual clues, like a literally empty playlist, tell us the machine itself is the one with the problem.
So for you, listening to this right now, navigating this digital world, what's the practical application here? How do we interact with platforms differently knowing all this?
I think it means we need to develop a new layer of digital literacy. We need to stop viewing the things on our screens as single monolithic truths.
Okay.
They are not one document. They are an assembly of different, often conflicting streams of data. Just because a page looks official, just because it has a clean design, an authoritative update log, and precise metrics like 3,946,354 views, that does not mean the underlying system is functionally sound.
It's learning to read the matrix a little bit.
Exactly.
To see the 12 unavailable videos are hidden message, and realize that the shuffle play button next to it is basically just a decorative sticker placed there by a blind component. It's about not letting the system gaslight you into restarting your router when the platform itself has lost the data in its own warehouse.
Exactly. We put immense trust in these platforms to act as our modern archives. We treat them like digital libraries, assuming they will just hold our history indefinitely.
But they don't.
No. As this web page snapshot proves, their priorities are not always aligned with preservation. They are optimized for speed, for component scalability, and for the mere appearance of functionality.
They are optimized to keep the lights on in the museum, even if the art has been stolen.
Precisely. Which leaves us with a really profound historical question. It's something for you to think about the next time you encounter a dead link or a broken web page. When future generations, the digital archaeologists of tomorrow, dig through the ruins of our internet, what exactly will they find? Will they be able to piece together the art, the music, and the culture we actually created? Or will they only find the empty, beautifully designed, mathematically broken shells of the metadata we left behind?